Gaffer, where to start? A 2-2 draw with Sheffield Wednesday. Can you give us your reflections on the game as a whole?
Yeah, I thought it was a game that we started really brightly in. I thought we were very good football and, created some moments, chances, scored a goal. Really liked us in that opening period. We got good control of the game early and we continued with that. And I felt, let's get this second goal before half-time, because I felt they were there for the taking, really. But out of absolutely nothing, they score a goal, which knocks us, knocks the team, knocks the stadium, knocks everyone. And we stabilised at half-time, regrouped, and came out well again on the front foot, having moments, having chances. We couldn't take them, and then they go and take a set piece out of nothing really, and a goal. And it was just one of those days where we just didn't defend well enough in decisive moments. What it leads to is a very difficult situation at home, 2-1 down in a game that you really feel you should be winning. That's a test of character, that's a test of mental strength, how you're going to respond to that, and the players did it. So there could be one of the biggest points of our season, and one of the biggest moments of our season, because we've been unbeaten at home in the league since I've been here. That's a long time. There won't be many teams in English football that have been as long as that in that time, and it means something. It means that we can keep going and protect that, and I'm pleased for the fans that were here at the end that had that moment, because it was a big moment for us. Does
it speak to the spirit, the camaraderie, the togetherness in that dressing room that you've cultivated last season and into this, when you see those scenes at the end? Yeah,
there's spirit, and that heart and soul of a team is ultimately the most important thing in football, because it's determination, and I don't doubt that. I think that's there, and it's growing more and more. We've had 2 big moments late in games here. We're going to need more. It's a hard league. I mean, I used to say League One would be challenging and harder than people think, but in the Championship the difference is there's some players that will punish your errors more ultimately, and that's what they did tonight. So from our point of view, there's a very mixed feeling in the dressing room. There's a sense of relief or happiness that we got the goal, but there's an underlying frustration, because we know that we let that game turn into a game that was possibly going to get completely away from us, which we shouldn't have done.
And it's a night that started so positively inside the first 10 minutes. Jay Stansfield shows real quality with the finish, and whether he's deployed as a 9 or off the side, he's got that in his locker, that bit of quality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, he's a talisman for us. You know what Jay can do. I think he did really well with the finish. I mean, it's one of his best finishes actually. It's gone up in the air quite high, and to control it across the keeper, quite a sort of instinctive finish. So yeah, really good goal.
We maintain that attacking intent. You're going in search of a second goal. As you say, you look like you've got them where you want them. Is it then just that sucker punch that gets them back into the game and gives them something to believe in?
Well, it does. It does a few things, that goal. It gives them belief. It gives the scoreline, levels it off. It gives their fans a lift. It gives our fans a knock, and the stadium a knock. And it can derail you, So it's very important for me at that moment to stay calm as the manager of the team, and at half-time make sure that the players understand that it's a new half, an opportunity to respond, and we need to get going again. And I thought we did that, but the same thing happened again, really, with the goal against the run of play. So it was one of those nights, but we didn't lose the game. We got a point. It's another point forward. It's another step forward for us, and we need to keep going.
You mentioned the goal against the run of play. So much work we know goes into set plays, both attacking and defending. Do you just need an individual to step up and take charge of that situation? Yeah,
I think it's a really poor goal to concede. I think everybody would see that, recognise that. The players know that. It's a reasonable ball in, but we have to, defend that one better. And it can happen, of course. So there's learning in there for us with the way we conceded it, because again, the amount of set plays we had compared to them was enormous, and we didn't get that moment. So yeah, that's the Championship. That's what it's going to be like this season. We have to be ready to respond to these situations. Thankfully, we definitely responded in a positive vein. We didn't get the 3 points, but we got 1, which is, we absolutely deserve the 3 over the course of the game, but it wasn't to be.
You made a triple change on the hour mark. How much of that was tactical, and how much of it was 3-game week and you have to freshen things up?
Yeah, it was purely pre-planned, really, in the sense that Patrick Roberts and Tommy Doyle both have hardly played, really. So 60 minutes was always going to be their limit, really. We've got a growing injury list, unfortunately, and then if you tip them over the edge and they get injured, then we're going to be really bare bones. So I thought it was important to make sure we kept them fresh or didn't get them injured, and we got some new fresh energy on there. So that was that, and then I think obviously Bright was struggling with his ankle as well, so he came off.
You joined in the celebrations as that goal went in down the touchline. Is that just all the emotion coming out because you were so frustrated and knew we deserved something from the game?
Yeah, it was. I've done that once before, but it was a winning goal, so I preferred that against Wigan. But it reminded me of that. Before I knew it, I was halfway down the touchline and I was running towards the Tilton end and jumping up and down with the players. But that's emotion. It means a lot, and it comes out like that because they were time wasting as they do, trying to see the game out. And it's the least we deserved, and we've never been beaten at home since I've been here in the league, so it was a big goal.
You've made this point before, but does tonight go to show again and reinforce the point that there are no easy games in the Championship? It's Sheffield Wednesday, everybody looks at it from outside the football club and expects us to come and get a result. It's just not how the Championship works. No,
it's not. I mean, the caveat to that is we should have won this game. We've played in such a vein and dominated that game. We shouldn't let that get to 2-1. That shouldn't happen. But yes, I think the difference is that this year teams can hurt you going the other way, whether that's a moment in front of goal, a set piece chance, whereas last season there probably wasn't that quality to really punish us for the errors that maybe we made. So we have to accept this is a very challenging league. If you look across the league, I think we're no different to every other team. There's draws, ups and downs and wins and losses. What we have to do is keep improving, not get too fixated on the league table or everything like that. It's still very early in the season. We have to keep improving and keep playing better and better and better, and we will pick up the results that we need.
Thanks as always, Gaffer.
Cheers, thank you.